Today I wanted to review this saber, which is the Promethium saber from Bendu Armory. Now this is one of their 3 new designs, this along with the beryllium and the rhodium saber. I recently reviewed the rhodium, which is my favorite of the 3. This Promethium is probably my least favorite of the 3, but again, it is still an interesting addition to the Bendu Armory family, and for some people it might be the aesthetic they're looking for. I'll talk about the design in just a moment. This saber, again, just like all of the other Bendu Armory sabers, is a carbon fiber sleeve fitted around an interchangeable chassis system. I will be looking at the chassis system for the Golden Harvest. I have looked at the one for the CFX. For this video, I'm just looking at the hilt design itself, so I won't be talking about the features or the programming of the saber. Okay, the rhodium is, the Promethium, along with the rhodium and the beryllium, are inorganic looking designs from Bendu Armory. So what that means is that unlike their traditional designs that they've been offering for the last several years, like this one here, which feature a lot of curves and organic looking aesthetics, these are more angular, more like what you're going to see in the rest of the lightsaber community, with hard edges, the sort of thing that you could machine yet still made out of carbon fiber. The thing about this model specifically, this is using the purple HYPETEX carbon fiber, which I'll talk about in just a moment, but it's kind of a nice, very, very purple look to it. And the other parts here, these are directional carbon fiber. So if you look at these in the right sort of light, there's a shimmer to them, kind of like old-timey beaver top hats. Everything that you see here is carbon fiber in one form or another. Okay, the Promethium design features this angled diamond right here, which I really think is very reminiscent of the Iron Heart in the middle of Mandalorian armor. So this thing to me looks just like it belongs with Mandalorian armor. So I like to think about this one as their Mandalorian offering, even though other people don't seem to have acknowledged that. The unidirectional or the directional carbon fiber portions on this have raised areas on them right here. So if you're familiar with lightsaber designs, a lot of lightsaber pommels have these sort of ridges that screw on. This is sort of simulating that, and they're creating depth by creating multiple levels in these carbon fiber areas here. All right, the nice thing about the angular designs in all of them is that they work really well with the screws. In some of the other ones, the curves and everything didn't quite work with the set screws, but on this, they're able to run along the seam here and run all the way down with this sort of carbon fiber material, which for one, works really well with the set screws, for two, kind of hides the seam that, while it's gotten a lot better on Bendu Armory, is still a little bit visible or kind of evident. You can sort of see it right there. Okay, but the seam is part of the manufacturing process, and in some of the older models it was very evident. When they run these inorganic angular models, they can hide the seam so it's not quite as apparent. All right, so the thing that I like about this is it's kind of Mandalorian, and it kind of works with the design so they can hide the seam. It's also giving this one specifically, if you really like the weaves, if you have a pretty weave, I think they've offered like golden flecked ones before, and even I've seen a peacock feather in Bendu Armory weaves on limited editions. If you get a really nice fancy weave, this saber is a really nice choice for it, because this, more than any of their other designs, highlights the weave. You can see here that this is just all purple right through here. Everything else, there's less. I mean, in the rhodium, for instance, there's only little bits of the weave that are visible, especially if you get the leather grip. This one is all about that weave. So if you're looking for something to highlight in a limited edition carbon fiber weave of some kind, this is a good one. I'm not a real big fan of these raised bits right here. I understand what they were trying to do, but I think it kind of fights with this line that comes up like this. It doesn't look like a piece. The nice thing about these is that they do provide a little bit of grip at the end. These straight Bendu Armory sabers, this has a tendency, if you're in the rain or something like that, one of the nice things about the carbon fiber hilts is they are a little bit weather resistant. But if you are out in the rain or your palms get sweaty, you can start to slide down on a saber like this. Their straight models are more dangerous than their curved models because their curved models stop you at the end. This one, unlike some of their others, has a little catch here at the bottom, so you do get some increased grip if your hand gets all the way down there, which is kind of nice. Because it's a straight model like this, it's really good for tricks, whereas the curved models are more unidirectional. If I throw this one up in the air, it really doesn't matter how I catch it. So it's got a few things going for it. If you're looking for something that's a very unique sort of Mando design, then I recommend this one. I think it's sort of missing some of what I really love about Bendu Armory, which is the more organic or unique feel to it. This feels like something you could machine out of metal, which for some people is a good thing. For me, kind of detracts a little bit. But still, this carbon fiber weave, if you want to highlight this, it's a great way to do it. Speaking of, this is a new feature that they're offering, which is called a HYPETEX weave. Their original color weave, like you see in this one, is like half red or half black here, and it's sort of a dull red or dull black. They've also been offering the reflective weaves, which is the same sort of dull black, but with a reflective red or reflective whatever the other color is. The HYPETEX is not intermixed purple and black in this case. It's purple and purple. The whole thing is purple. And it's got a nice reflective sheen to it, so I really like this HYPETEX. So I'm glad I got it with this Saber, which really highlights the weave underneath. But if you're looking for the Saber to just pop and scream that color, the HYPETEX is a good way to do it. If you're looking for it to be more subtle, then the original weave or the original color weaves are the way to go. The reflection is kind of a crackly, which I kind of like as well. But if it's all about the color, if you're looking for something to match an outfit or match a costume or something like that, then the HYPETEX might be a decent way to go. All right, so this has been the Promethium from Bendu Armory Sabers. Stay tuned, and I'll be looking at the third new version, which is the Beryllium.